Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Edward Lee Dorsey, the same self-man who would survey and lay out the town of Harrisonburg. I was born in Wheeling, Virginia on July the 22nd, 1781. Married my beloved Hannah in the spring of 1797, and together we had 6 children. If I can remember them all: Sarah, Edward, Mary, Mayo, Warren, and little Rosine. I was not yet here in Catahoula Parish to be counted in the census of 1810. However, I had begun to regularly act as a witness to land sales in the same year. This area then was still known as Pine Point or Pine Prairie, and already contained the seat of what became Catahoula Parish in 1808. Mr. John Harrison was already in the practice of buying and selling land when in the spring of 1814 he made a most significant purchase of 640 acres from a sheriff's sale of the property of Oliver J. Morgan. This is the property, which already contained the courthouse thereon, for which he hired me to survey and lay out the town. It wouldn't be until 1818 that the name would be officially changed to Harrisonburg in honor of Mr. John, and not then formally until it was established as such in January the 5th, 1818 by the Louisiana General Assembly. I ran for sheriff in 1814 and was elected. I served in that capacity up until 1825. My term in office fell between those of Sheriff Clarkson and Sheriff Bryan. And although I didn't live to see it, my eldest son Ed served a term as sheriff some 16 years after my death. I was fortunate to have a relatively quiet and uneventful term in office. However, one instance comes to mind when I had the most unpleasant duty of hanging a horse thief out of Franklin Parish. May God have mercy on his soul. I continued to live in Harrisonburg and eventually bought 2 large tracts of land south of town and along the Washita River, where I established a farm producing cotton and corn. I also ran a small herd of cattle. That is, up until the point of my untimely death on February the 11th, 1830. I was only 44 years old when I was laid to rest in these hills. That lantern on the hillside marks my grave and headstone. Although none of my children are buried here with me in the cemetery, a great number of my grandchildren are. And I'm proud to say that my Christian name still lives on within the family. A little further up the hill, you will meet one of my grandsons, Joseph Clay Galden, who is most anxious to share with you his very interesting life story. Oh, by the way, this time of the year, them wild girls, they get mighty frisky, so y'all keep your eye out for them. I won't keep you any longer. My name is Steve Brown. My wife, Jonna, and I live north of here on Turkey Creek Lake. Perhaps you've heard of it. It's where all the horse thieves come from up there in Franklin Parish. Please forgive any irregularities that we may have taken with Mr. Dorsey. There's very little about him in the written record. And if any among you are thinking about becoming a writer, please consider writing your own family's history, as it may someday benefit an actor such as I far, far in the future. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank y'all. I know you.
Uh-huh.
My sister. She had to come.